On today's episode, we're going to make a little surprise for Anna. She's a big Peep fan, and I decided it would be fun to make her some matching earrings and a necklace that she can wear to show her Peep love proudly. Now I'm using an air-dry no-bake clay because it's a little more lightweight and I don't have to worry about it changing color in the oven when it bakes. Plus it's a little softer right off the bat, which makes it easier to form our Peep. And about 1.5 inches or so, depending upon how big you want your Peep to be, that's the size I used to create the pendant size Peep. I did make a little bit larger piece in the same shape just to give you a better idea. It's kind of rounded on one end with a little point at the other, and this is going to be his tail end. Now if you ever really carefully looked at Peeps, they're not perfect. Each one is unique and it's individual. So don't worry about your Peeps being perfect. We're not looking for rubber ducks, we're looking for Peeps. So once you get your pointed end, this is your back, I sort of folded it in half, pushed it back to meet on itself, and I'm leaving that little tail there. And then you can see it's starting to form. I pulled that rounded edge forward a little bit. And there he's starting to scrunch. But we've got to make their little beaks. So I'm just using my fingers to kind of form his little beak. And again, they're not perfect. Their beaks are kind of smushed down, so we want it to look as much like a real Peep as we possibly can. And then I literally kind of put them down on a table and just kind of mashed them a little bit so that he'd look like a Peep sitting there. So there's the larger version of our Peep beads. To make the holes, I wanted them to hang. We put them into little gold bird cages. So I took a needle, while the clay was still wet, I took a needle and just pushed it through the back portion of the tail feathers and kind of twisted it around to make that hole large enough to pass either a jump ring through or a brass ring or something. And our Peep needed eyes, so I took a brown marker and just added a couple of brown spots as eyes. Again, they're not perfectly lined up, but they're not supposed to be. To make them into our fun little necklace and earrings, we're using these great gold rings. And one trick we discovered for making them stay in place a little bit and not kind of free float is to add a little bit of E6000 to the end before we fed the Peep through. And then you can even let it dry in place if you want him to stand upright, like he's really sitting in the little gold bird cage. You can just prop it up so it'll dry this way. Or you can let him free float like we did here. I used the larger one for the pendant and I made him a little bit smaller for the earrings, but I still wanted him to be fun and funky and totally silly. It's that simple. Make kind of a cigar, flatten one end, roll it up on itself, add some eyes, Peep-a-palooza. I hope Anna likes her surprise Peep gift, and I hope she wears it with pride.